What is up, everybody? I'm back warehouse living, of course, doing a little video. Won't take too much time, but this one is an interesting one. This got covered. Well, let's start here. Actually, let me go ahead and switch over real quick here. Last month, let's say that the World Athletics Council, which is the governing body for international track and field, will bar transgendered women athletes from elite competitions for for women. So essentially, men or people that were born as men cannot be competing. At all accounts, it looks like it points towards there's a particular French transgender sprinter who has, of course, issues with this. Is born male but identifies as a female Muslim. Wow. France, what the hell? That's interesting. I don't know if that might be the first time I've ever heard that. I wonder how Muslims feel about that. Decisions are always difficult when they involve conflicting needs, rights between different groups, but we continue to take the view that we must maintain fairness for female athletes above all other considerations. It's a common sense approach to this topic. Like, obviously, given the situation, it's though them compete, they have an advantage. Let's say an unfair one, just because of how they were born. And the fact that this is even controversial and we're even having this conversation is insane. Even if we are a minority, we deserve to live freely, to lead a free life, deserve to take part in competitions and to compete in our category. And we are being refused that. I don't know why they're conflating that with rights or living a free life. You can still live a relatively free life while not being able to compete against women, considering that you have that advantage. And I don't, it does feel like I'm kind of in crazy town because I would have never thought, let's say this, I'm not that far removed from being a track and field athlete myself. It hasn't been 10 years even since I last competed. This was not a conversation that the track and field community was having at all. And just that fast, now all of a sudden it is controversial to them. It shouldn't be to just say that, well, no, you cannot compete just because you want to identify as one. You cannot compete. You have an advantage because you're built like me. You're built akin to guys like myself, okay? And you get others, though, well, they just have their own category. They don't want that. It would only go one way, either way, you know. So if you have a trans woman, so people that I guess were born male, you'd have, it's just simply not that many of them to fill out. Like, you're not going to have heats of women doing. I know people say that like in various sports. It's not that many of them. You'd be the same couple of athletes competing with each other every single time. There's simply not that many of them. And I guess for some, maybe it defeats the purpose because they want to live this life where they are seen as something that is not what it is that maybe others see them as, and in putting them in their own like category against their I guess the closest thing to them, trying to level the playing field, if you will. Well, they'll say that that's a problem there. So you're not going to get that, but it should be controversial just from an athletics perspective. To put it in perspective, even more so. My fastest time, I have the Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi, Division I school. I have their Division I, not it's the only division that they compete in, excuse me. I have their school record in the 100 meters dash. That school record in the 100 meter dash is the fastest, it's faster than any woman has ever recorded. Okay? And I was a good one. I was a damn good sprinter. I wasn't like the best. Like I wasn't, as original qualifier, of course. I was, pretty good. But it wasn't like I was winning the national meet or something. I never broke 9. That didn't happen. Wasn't running 19s in the 200. That never happened. But I was pretty good, pretty competitive, of course. But yeah, it's not like I was the best. Yet, I would have if I identified as a woman, I'd have the women's world record. That's the discrepancy when a guy like myself, who was a good athlete, maybe not a great track and field athlete, a damn good one, but not a great one, outpaces Flojo. And Flojo's record, to be clear, ain't no woman coming close to that. To what Flojo ran when she ran that 1040 she ran. Nobody's coming close to that. Okay? And it's been a while. It's going to be there for a very long time. Okay? That record is even. So if you excluded Flojo, it would especially be not even close because, well, I'm a man. Okay? And I'm built this way, and there's a difference. The fact that this is controversial goes to show why I believe this argument and this conversation should be knocked down almost immediately. What we've allowed to manifest is a bunch of people who say, like, we've catered and coddled these people who may have some mental problems. And they have now convinced rational people that irrational positions are rational. So that's why we're having a stupid conversation right now about women or men in women's sports. Because we've allowed, instead of knocking that stuff down, we allowed it to manifest. And it's just going to get crazier from here until people stop with I don't want to offend this group and I don't want to offend that group, and just call it for what it is. This is stupid. It's a conversation that we shouldn't even be having. If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com. This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultra Max, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically, even with Rippaverse orders, and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.